wanted to say I've looked over a lot of your information, and it's an honor to talk to you tonight. There's a lot of good things you do, and hopefully we can touch on a few of those tonight. And, just let people know who they're dealing with, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate those words.
Yes, sir.
I've enjoyed it. Well, I teach 4 days a week at Central Piedmont Community College, which I only have, just a couple hours each day. But I've been teaching down there for since 1990. That's like 25 years.
Wow.
Before that, I taught for 30 years in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system, where I taught band and orchestra to junior high and high school.
That's got to be a tough gig right there, man, just trying to get kids.
Well, yeah, it's you have to get up so darn early, to go out and do that, and of course you have to be there. It's very demanding. I taught music, and I taught a bunch of kids how to play. I taught a bunch of them to play a lot better than me. Matter of fact, that's my cracking floor, They play better than me. I said, I must have done a good job. Get away from that. Ice cream. My dog was about to get my ice cream.
Uh-oh.
Hold on a minute. Okay. I've been teaching a long time. Teaching and playing. That's what I do.
That's it. Well, now Tony tells me that you're making the rounds quite a bit at a lot of different clubs and just doing what you want to do. And I've got to say one thing. I mean, anybody that can live life and just live it to its fullest every day, I've got to give them a high five for that, because a lot of people in this world don't have that luxury, that's for sure.
I feel extremely fortunate in the fact that I found this walk of life, because I was not going to be a musician. That wasn't my original plan, I graduated Davidson College with a business degree, and if it hadn't been for 2 years in the Army between my junior and senior year at Davidson, I would not have known about how much I enjoy music. I got into an Army band. I got sent to Frankfurt, Germany, and talked to some fellows that were playing jazz, and I got set on fire about learning how to play jazz. And I came back, finished my last year at Davidson, got my degree in business, which it's done me absolutely no good. It's not Davidson's fault, it's mine, because I'm not a business-minded person at all. I just love, I love to play music, and
so you just chose a different walk of life,
Exactly right. And I didn't think I would be a teacher either. I said, I don't have the patience to teach people, at the start, and that of course turned out to be false, because my first year in Charlotte in 1960, I was teaching with an emergency teacher certificate, because I did not have a teacher's ed degree. And they said if you teach anymore, you'll have to make up the deficiencies the state says you have to have to get a teacher's ed degree, And
right.
one year, and that summer I got the deficiencies out of the way at Winthrop College and Queens College, and one year turned into 30 years, teaching 30 years. Well, I happen to know Gene Bryant, who started the music program at Central Piedmont Community College, and I was teaching. I taught the community band at CPCC back in the 70s at night on Tuesday nights, And so when I retired from the school system in 1990, I went to Gene Bryant. I said, let's start a jazz program. He said, great. What do you want to teach? I said, this, and that, And he said, that's great. When can you start? I said, next month. He said, fine. So 25 years later, I've been doing that now, And I've been playing gigs here and there, all kind of different things. I played with the Charlotte Symphony, I played with Summit Theater at Evans Auditorium. I played with the ice shows. I played with circuses. I played at recording sessions. I've done commercial jingles. You know, I played wedding receptions, birthday parties, jazz concerts, jazz whatever, this, that, and the other. I've done about everything you could do in this town as far as that goes. Played concerts, and that's basically what I've been doing for the last 55 years.
What kind of commercial jingles are we talking about here? Is it something you think maybe our listeners have heard? Or?
No, these were done back in the 70s. A fellow named Ziggy Hurwitz here. We used to do them over at the Arthur Smith recording studios. I don't know if you remember Arthur Smith or not, but we did commercials for the banks here in town, or some automobile company or something like that. But they were done way long time ago. There's nothing is being played now.
Right.
And I'm on a lot. I've done a lot of rock and roll background stuff. With
right.
I'm on that record, which the chairman of the board. You know about that group? You heard
yeah, I sure do.
They had a tune called Carolina Girls that got to be quite big.
Okay.
I'm in the background playing trombone on that thing.
There you go, man.
We recorded that at the old Arthur Smith studios. And
what other instruments do you play? I mean,
having taught junior high band for 30 years, I learned an awful lot about all of the instruments. But I knew how to put them together. I knew how to finger the notes and all that. But in order to be proficient on an instrument, you got to spend a lot more time than I had with all those instruments. I played mainly the piano, the trombone, and the bass. Those are my three main instruments.
There you go. Enough for a band, if you ask me.
Well, it's enough. I can play gigs. I can play gigs on all three instruments. All right.
Wow.
And because I can read, I can play bass with a big band if they need somebody that can read. So, and also, by the way, I got my pilot's license my private pilot's license back in 1987, and I rented club planes from Willow Grove Airport for the first 10 years. I loved to fly, and in 1996, I bought myself an airplane, a little Cessna 150, and I fly that boy everywhere. Every time I get a chance. And tomorrow's going to be a chance. Tomorrow I'm flying down to Rock Hill to meet my brother, and we're going to go out to the Golden Corral and have lunch. That
was good.
All right.
Not to pry, but how old of a gentleman are you?
I'm 82.
See, now look at that. That's exactly what I was talking about. Okay? Yeah. When I'm 82 years old, I hope I'm doing about a fourth of what you're doing. Okay.
Well,
because probably a fourth of it, I'm gonna be taking a nap at about 2:00 in the afternoon.
Well, I tell you, teaching junior high and high school will keep you young. It'll either make you drive you mad, or it'll keep you young. And I had a good rapport with my students. I really did.
Right.
They knew that I was to play. Well, yeah, they could tell that I loved what I was doing, and helping them. I live vicariously, you might say, through a lot of my students. I see them learn how to play. Boy, I wish that was me. I wish I could play that good. But
I have a 7-year-old grandson, and I have to live vicariously through him sometimes because I can't keep up with him.
Well, that's what you do, whatever floats your boat, you might say.
Exactly.
Flying an airplane is just, as long as that fan keeps working out front there.
Exactly. Then you're good.
It's ethereal, it really is. It's just wonderful. And
I can imagine what it would be like.
I fly that plane a lot. I know where all the hamburger joints are on airports around the state of North Carolina. All the barbecue houses, and this, that, and the other.
With you.
So, and I plan on teaching, well, as long as I can, as long as I can get up in the morning and feel good, eat breakfast, go out and meet my students. It's wonderful when you look forward to going to work.
Exactly.
And that's my situation. I look forward to going
that's
to
just
work.
that's like what Tony and I do. Where I was in the radio business for about 8 years, got out of the business, and just getting back in, with doing podcast interviews and things like this. And it's just rejuvenated a lot of the knowledge that I had that maybe I thought I had lost about the business, and how I can take my knowledge from a long time ago and bring it forward and see how we can make this work better. But it does mean a whole lot when you're doing what you like. I will say that. That's
the answer. If you don't enjoy going to work, what's left?
Exactly.
I mean, that's your life, and if you don't love your life, it's that's ulcers, heart attacks, all kinds of things.
Bill really does enlighten a lot of people down there in Charlotte at the Double Door Inn some 3 or 4 years ago, and I'd never really been exposed to jazz much. And to see the people reacting and the people that come back every week and listen to Bill and a lot of his band and his students, it impressed me. And every time I get a chance on Tuesday nights, I go down there and listen to them. Maybe Bill could tell us a little bit about the Double Door and that scene.
Well, the Double Door. Well, it's been there like 38 years. First of all, and we've been there for 9 years. Of course, what I do, I host a jam session at the Double Door on Tuesday nights, and we invite anybody that can play, to come in and sit in with us. And in most cases, people that sit in can play. They're probably not seasoned pros, but they do pretty well. Only on rare occasions do we get burned. Somebody will get up, it looks easy, so they get up. I play a horn. I played a horn like 10 years ago. All that. We'll see. And that usually didn't work out. But so we do have a lot of musicians come by the Double Door on Tuesday nights. The Double Door's venue is not the kind of jazz we play the other nights. Now, this just on Tuesday night, where we play some bebop jazz, and some standards by Duke Ellington, George Gershwin, Cole Porter, these people like that. Latin pieces, by Joe Beam.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of thing. And ballads, we have ballads, and we have folks come down there and sing, and some of them sing quite well. And people that play down there, they get noticed by other folks, and these people hire them, play some gigs with another band. I mean, there's networking going on there. That people can find a private teacher or something like that if they want to take lessons, and they can meet all kinds of folks at the Double Door on Tuesday night. Now, the other nights, the Double Door is usually not sit-in nights. It's a band that's fixed with a certain agenda, played-wise, and they don't have room for folks to sit in. But the jam session is really, it works out pretty good. We don't pack the doggone room, it's for some reason, unfortunately, a lot of folks don't come to the Double Door because it looks like a place where you might get cut 3 ways, deep, wide, and frequent, somebody might say. It's an old house. It does, outside does not, give the impression of being a real classy place, but it is inside. It's a very classy place. The people are very respectful, of what we're trying to do, and there's a whole lot of listening that goes on when we're playing, and that's wonderful. Now, I play every Wednesday and Friday at a place called the Cajun Queen, which is a restaurant. And I know that people come there to eat and talk and maybe listen to the music too, but sometimes they just eat and talk. And we have a little trouble being heard. So it's kind of it's belittling sometimes when you play and you think you've done real well and nobody even heard you, But the double door, people are listening and they applaud if they like it, and if they don't like it, they don't applaud. But at least they're given, they have the opportunity, And now the Cajun Queen is open 7 nights a week. They have jazz up there 7 nights a week, and it's a variety of different types of jazz with some of the older, real old fellows. There's a fellow up there that was about 91 or 2 years old, still playing. I don't think he plays anymore. His name was Skinny Harris, played banjo. I think he's gotten too old to get up the steps to Cajun Queen where our room is. We're upstairs. But there's some kind of hardcore Dixieland that's played there. It's kind of more like a Dixieland flavor because it's a New Orleans restaurant, And but they let us play anything we want to there. I mean, we do some bebop, we do some Latin pieces, ballads, we do funny tunes, and I sing a Mose Allison tune called "Your Mind's on Vacation, but Your Mouth is Working Overtime," things like that.
Treat on their like's wife.
Yeah, So that's primarily what I do in Charlotte. I mean, I'm playing and teaching. That's what that's basically, and flying, playing, teaching, and flying. I love sports. I'm watching the Cleveland Cavaliers play the Boston Celtics right now. They got the sound off, of course. But
so you're a big LeBron James fan, right?
No, I'm not. But I happen to seem like the only game in town right now. I love,
Yeah.
Well, I love the Hornets, but they're not. They're out of the loop right now. They're not in the playoffs.
Yeah,
now I'm watching this. I like to watch Stephen Curry with the Golden State Warriors.
Oh yeah.
Because Stephen Curry played at Davidson College, and while I don't necessarily go around preaching Davidson College, I do it because he went there. That's for sure. Davidson College is a wonderful school. It just wasn't for me. All right. I'm not the Ivy League personality. Davidson College is a wonderful college.
Right.
You got to be smart to get out of there, baby. And I got out, but boy, it wasn't. I didn't graduate summa cum laude. We'll put it that way. I graduated magna laude. Yeah. Anyway, I
understand. Believe me.
You understand? My dog is barking at something. What do you want, Oscar? What do you want? He's sitting there howling. What a character. He's howling at my cat. I have a cat named Jazz. I have a dog named Oscar for Oscar Peterson, the piano player.
Well, I've really enjoyed talking to you, man. I mean, a whole lot.
Right.
I've learned more about Charlotte than I probably ever knew. Not that I had never tried to know, but these are just some things that
now where are you? Where are you from?
No, I live in Bristol, Tennessee.
You're in Bristol, Tennessee now. I'm talking to you. You're in Bristol.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Tony, where are you?
I'm based out of Marion, Virginia, but I'm in Mooresville, North Carolina right now.
Well, Mooresville, North Carolina is where I graduated high school.
Right. Oh yeah.
In 1951.
Right.
Long time ago.
Do you have any students? Do you have any students you're particularly proud of? That I know you had a lot go through your.
Oh Lord, I got bunches. I've got. Well, I've had 3 musicians with the Charlotte Symphony. 2 of them still do. One, a French horn player named Bob Blaylock, has already retired from the Charlotte Symphony. He's old enough to retire. I had him junior high school. Good Lord, back in I guess it was the 60s, somewhere in there. I'll lose track of time when it gets back that far. But I've got musicians that I've taught that are playing professionally and all over, and some of them have made it. They play with big name bands like the Woody Herman Band, the Glenn Miller Orchestra. They go out on tour with them, and I've had so many musicians that are teaching now. One of my students actually was she was picked as the string teacher for the state of North Carolina for 1 year. Her name was Judy Crocker when I had her at Hawthorne Junior High School back in 1961, I think it was.
What a memory you have. Man.
Yeah, well, I got a, I can remember some things, but some of the kids come up to me sometime, and they say, "Do you remember us? We were in your junior high band in 1962. And, this is 2015." I said, "Well, it's only been a few years. You've changed a little bit." But believe it or not, so I've got a fellow that comes to the Double Door now, doggone. His name is Tommy Harmon. And I taught him at Hawthorne Junior High School in 1961. He comes there every Tuesday night. He gets there late. It's over on the bar stool having a beer and listening to the music. And he loves it.
That's great.
He doesn't play anymore. He didn't play professionally, but he loves it. I taught an awful lot of students. I gave them a love for the instrument, a love for all kind of music, not just necessarily jazz. I didn't teach jazz in the school system per se. When I was teaching in the public school system, I taught a jazz band on Monday night, which of course I got no pay for, but I called it the Monday Night Jazz Band, and that band would go. We'd take that band to contests, and we always would win. We'd get first place because I had some players in there. We played some music, made it sound good.
That's right. That's what it's all about.
That's exactly what it's all about. And I've got a lot of folks that didn't go on and major in music or anything like that, but they definitely have a love for it, and they know what it takes to make it. I had a student come up to the Cajun Queen here a month ago that paid me a real fine compliment, and he said, "Mr. Hanna," he said, "I always look forward to coming to your class because you just had so much fun teaching, and you made it so much fun for all of us." I said, "Well, man, that's awful nice to hear you say that, That's the kind of payment that's worth more than money, I think, when you get somebody to make a statement like that. It's and of course, I'm not going to lie to you. I had a few students that were real problems, or back in the days when you could kind of give them some licks with a paddle, I paddled a few,
Oh, I can imagine.
That's you can't do that anymore. You're not supposed to touch them. Spare the rod and spoil the child. You heard that expression. That's gone by the wayside there.
Bill, we appreciate you, buddy. Thank you a lot for talking to us.
Well, you're quite welcome, man. I'll see you soon. All right.